What's up, Collective? Welcome to Kollektive TV. We're here with Midnite Massacre. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, we're missing a couple of y'all. Where's everybody at?
hanging out in Virginia.
Yeah. Okay. Is that where y'all are from?
Absolutely.
So y'all are based
Well,
in
except
Virginia?
for our vocalist.
Most of us,
Yeah,
Our
most of
vocalist is from Elkin,
Okay.
the Elkin area. The rest of us are from Patrick County,
makes
Virginia.
so
County,
much
Virginia.
sense.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it adds up now.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where did y'all actually meet? Y'all all just from the same town then?
There's a really kind of interesting story behind that.
We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, he and I have been really close friends since like 8th grade, and actually all through high school, we just had a vision of starting a band. And originally we wanted to play like thrash metal, and so like
Okay.
right after high school, like we put together a band that ended up being called Perfection and Decay, and we met up with our current drummer. He was in a band at the time, and him and then the vocalist of that band sort of like we kind of like joined forces.
That's
and,
usually how it goes.
yeah, and that's what it is. And he just he stuck around with us that whole time. And our keyboard player has been a close friend of ours for a long time too. We knew him in high school, and he's just kind of always been part of the friend group. And so that's just kind of how he got in. And then our vocalist is somebody we just kind of found.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were holding auditions.
Is Vincent from Virginia also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking he was around here because I know he spends a lot of time around here. He's been up at Spirit a time or two, and I know he's
He
posted some
travels
stuff
a
being
lot.
in Green.
He
being at
stays
the
on the
guitar
go.
center over here.
His escape is really behind the wheel. He just loves driving.
Man,
Get
I
away.
dread it, man.
Yeah,
If it's more than 20
Yeah.
minutes away, then I'm like,
Seriously.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
I'm used to it, but I don't like it either. Now Vince is he's got a video series that he does on Instagram called On the Road with Vincent.
Yeah, you can plug it.
Go ahead and check that out
on YouTube channel.
on YouTube channel. Yeah, Vincent Reigns Official is that YouTube channel, and he's got several series on there. He's got Midnight Movie Reviews. That's where he and I sit down and just talk about
Cool.
all kinds of not just
Cool little
horror movies,
series,
but
That's awesome.
yeah, and then he's got one called The Smoking Hour with him and Stephen Midnight, where they just kind of like visit cigar shops and sort of sit around and talk about
Just life.
life, anything.
Life in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then On the Road with Vincent is he's traveling around and just doing all kinds of stuff. So he goes everywhere.
quick question, then I got one thing. Have you guys done the Crow on that by chance?
Done.
Review? On the Midnight Review?
No, we haven't. Unpopular opinion. I'm not a big fan of The Crow. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's okay, but I think it's
We
like
apologize
just
for
okay.
that
Dude.
short episode.
Yeah.
10
We're done
minutes.
here.
Cut.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that is literally my absolute all-time favorite movie. Like,
Really?
over anything else.
I'll tell-
I could watch that movie 20,000
So,
times.
like,
Skid Row.
Y'all originally said that you described yourself as wanting to be a thrasher band. What could you say your sounds like now if there's a band that you can compare it to?
You get a lot of comparisons as far as shock rock is what I guess a lot of people decide to call us, or goth rock a lot.
Yeah.
But people compare us, I guess, as like kind of a mix between Motley Crue and Ghost.
I can see that.
A little bit
Yeah.
of heavier hymn,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
things of
Right,
that nature.
right.
It's really kind of hard to lump us into, one specific style. I mean, our image we have is
Recognizable.
Very,
Yeah. We know what
80s.
Midnite Massacre is,
Yeah.
especially because y'all's following too.
Well,
I mean, everybody that follows y'all is just like y'all. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I mean, also, clearly we here are fans of a gimmick. Gimmicks
yeah.
are nice.
yeah.
I personally feel like gimmicks are vital.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like that is something like that is what's going to separate
It's
you
separation. Yeah.
from anybody else.
Yeah, your
And,
image
like,
is extremely important. It's
It is.
I think it's half the battle, honestly. 'cause
It is.
You got to stand out to people that may have never heard of you, or people that may have never even looked into you.
Mhm.
And the first thing they're going to see is what you look like.
Yeah, and also something that'll make them remember you.
Oh
Yeah, that's one
Hey, I
thing that
remember
we.
that band. Yeah.
That's one thing we noticed, like after a lot of shows, is people remember us because not a lot of other bands like look like us exactly. So,
Dude, a lot of bands don't put on the shows you guys do
Yeah.
either. Like the
Thank
cool
you,
stuff
man.
that you did at the end of the last show
Mhm.
with like the whole murder thing.
no,
And
yeah,
then you'll like do your solos and like have blood capsules and like
dude, I
fake
really
blood
appreciate
leaking
it.
everywhere and stuff. Like
Yeah.
people remember things
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
That's a big
Yeah.
deal.
People want to see a show. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now that we're on the topic of that, do y'all have any weird pre-show rituals or anything that kind of stands out?
No, not necessarily. I mean, individually, we kind of all have like our process, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As a band, we don't necessarily have a ritual, but something I want to say about like our gimmick too is, and a lot of people like really don't know this, but we're actually portraying characters on stage, and each one of our obviously like Raven Shadow is a character, Marshall Wallace is a character, and they each have unique backstories, which we kind of want to, as time goes on, reveal through the music and kind of as we release stuff.
Yeah.
And so
So the music is telling the tales of your stage characters. Is that what's happening?
in some situations, like our debut album is planned to be a concept album, which is essentially just like a horror story that we thought of.
Mm-hmm.
But we are in our characters ourselves,
Yeah.
not necessarily in that story, but there's music that's being written for later down the road that is specifically, like there's a song we're working on specifically about Marshall Wallace.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That'll be awesome. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
When can we expect some new releases?
well,
Well, probably within the next couple months, we'll have our cover of the Ramones' Pet Cemetery out
Okay.
on all platforms. And we got to head back to the studio, work on a song called Incarnate that we just wrote. That
Okay.
one,
we'll be debuting that one at some shows coming up real
yeah,
soon. too.
October. And
So
then we
y'all
got-
going to try to get a few covers together then?
Yeah, we got Vampire Heart by him coming
Okay.
to the set in October as well.
That'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
That's
One.
good.
Nice
Yeah,
choice.
I can't wait.
It is interesting.
Yeah, we
Out
got-
of curiosity, because I know we talked a little bit about this after the last show,
right.
and we talked about possibly doing Wings of a Butterfly just because of the like people singing along with it and like
Mhm.
more people doing it kind of thing.
Yeah.
What made you end up going in the other direction?
I think a lot of it. Vampire Heart's actually personally my favorite hymn song, but it's sort of like all on the lines of what we went with when we decided to do Pet Cemetery over Blitzkrieg Bop or,
Yeah, that's a good
point.
or
Yeah.
I Want to Be Sedated. It's kind of like those things where these songs they already have their own identity. They already have like people that kind of already know it. They've heard it on radio, things of that nature.
Yeah, we didn't want to necessarily do like an obvious one. We wanted to do one that's known, but Vampire Heart.
Well, a little obscure on there, like
Yeah, and like the aesthetic sort of that sound is kind of like it's. I feel like we're sort of a little bit more in line with that. It's got like the really catchy keyboard sounding thing, and it just
Awesome
seemed like
song,
something
yeah,
that would
yeah,
really
great
fit
song.
with
Yeah,
us.
not the
Yeah.
cover that everybody covers. I mean,
Right,
that's a
right,
huge
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've been to a local show and it's two different bands play the same cover.
Man,
it
that's-
happens. So
I've never
it's good to
experienced
think
that.
a little bit out
definitely
outside.
try.
like I'm a firm believer that especially and like unless you're a super established band, I think covers are important. Like you don't have to do like half your set covers or like a whole set, but I feel like you need to incorporate at least one.
Yeah.
So because that's what the audience is
Yeah.
going to really interact
Crowd
with. That's what they're going to
crowd
engage.
interact,
You
yeah.
know, that's what that's going to be the moment that they're singing with you, and like that builds connections between people subconsciously. Like
And there's always
singing things together, and it's just
the song you choose to do as a cover will let the audience know what type of sound you're going for
for
when
sure.
they haven't heard your
Good
originals.
I feel like that's another thing for sure. Choosing what covers you do is very important. You
Okay.
you gotta keep something true to your image and your desire.
Yeah, we're not really trying to play a song that the crowd automatically likes or maybe even knows. You know, because we could easily just get up there and just chug away at some Sweet Home Alabama, or something along those lines, because the crowd loves it. Of course, when they're alcohol.
I don't know. I know there are some people that would probably be offended that you said chug on Sweet Home Alabama. But like,
Well, I was saying like if we done it.
got you. That could be cool though. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you say that and
And the cool thing about like something like Pet Cemetery, it's I guess it's a song people know, but it's not one of the Ramones like super like well known songs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. But we've met a lot of people that have not heard the Ramones version or did hear it but heard ours first and like prefer our version over theirs.
Gotta love
So-
that. You gotta love
that has to be the coolest.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's pretty wild, man. So it feels like we're kind of
There
like
are
taking
people
that song
that-
and making it our own thing is what it feels like we've done with
Yeah,
it.
and there are people that actually thought we wrote it at first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, that was kind of why I was asking more about picking a more obscure song versus a sing-songy song, because like the people that haven't really seen you, or the people that don't know who that is, when they hear it, they're just going to assume that it's in your vein.
One of our songs.
So,
Right.
yeah. But I didn't even consider the side of that, of them hearing the cover first and then going and hearing the original and being like, oh, hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even honestly.
We didn't expect that
you
either.
guys.
That never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
So.
All right,
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we done a lot of talking about you, so we know we're gonna talk about ourselves a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
What is y'all's favorite song by the Kollektive?
Disassociate for me.
I'm gonna say Night Train. You guys did that one, right?
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was
cool.
great.
Yeah. And no,
Second to Inner Sandman.
Yeah, that's Inner Sandman's good. But I'll say all those are good. I'll say Disassociate as well.
Yeah.
I really like the guitar work in that a lot.
Yeah.
Catchy chords
Man,
too.
I the Ruiner absolutely destroyed that solo, man.
Absolutely.
We've been making a joke here in the band lately, like he plays more notes in that first bridge, that first short little bridge solo than we play through the entire song. Like his speed and precision is just insane.
Yeah.
And I actually recorded the playthrough videos of that with him last week, and he hasn't played those solos since he recorded them. And he came over here and sat down, and in like 10 seconds, just like it sounded like it was the track. Like it's insane. Like to pick something like that up and just he's insane, man. The talent on that guy.
Yeah, good skills, man.
It's
That was super
It's
shreddy.
outrageous.
Yeah,
Never
super
moved my
shreddy.
fingers up.
Yeah.
Check him out. Check him out for
Yeah,
sure. He does.
absolutely.
He does a lot of instrumental, like orchestral, big stuff. We'll actually have him out here sometime.
Yeah,
so
I'd love
for
that.
sure, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
all right.
All right. Back to the questions.
Yes.
Going back. So, I mean,
Substance.
individually, before y'all ever formed a band or even knew about each other, I mean, what kind of got you into music? What kind of made you start wanting to play and getting involved in the scene?
I personally was raised on rock and roll.
Yeah.
My dad raised me on it.
Like the classic rock, 80s rock kind of
Kiss.
stuff. Yeah. Oh,
Is
Saw me.
a huge influence. If you watch me live, I jump around like Paul
yeah.
Stanley
Yeah.
as much as I can.
Okay.
But the '80s rock and roll was what I was raised on. That's all I listened to when I was a kid, and it was because of my dad.
Yeah.
And then his best friend, John Hall, who's been like a mentor to me all my life. He was in a band that was pretty big on this local scene in the early '90s called Play War.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, he was still practicing with them, recording an album with them. They come out like '94, so I was already exposed to it at like 3 or 4 years old,
Yeah.
and just kind of listening to what he wrote.
Second nature at that point.
Yeah, and then so after that, it's just once it's in your bloodstream, you can't deny it.
Yeah.
You're hooked. For
Definitely
life.
feel like
I
a
mean-
lot of us in this scene came from that
Yeah.
exact same story.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
my dad was a musician. My
Yeah.
grandfather was also a drummer in like bluegrass bands and stuff. And so my dad was a bass player primarily, but he's been in and out of a bunch of bands.
I don't know what the
over
fuck
the
happened
years
to me.
and-
My dad listened to Jimmy Buffett and shit.
My dad
Of
listened
course,
to
your
Motley.
dad is a Shotgun Messiah fan. And
Absolutely.
I want to shout out to him for being a Shotgun Messiah.
Shotgun Messiah is good stuff.
One of the most
man.
underrated bands of all time.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. From that era, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I have a totally opposite story. Yeah, like I wasn't raised on rock and roll at all. And
You're a gospel guy, aren't you?
gospel and bluegrass is what was around me all the time. And like I'd always like, wanted to like expand and listen to other stuff, but like I didn't really know where to start when I was like really young, so I just kind of listened to whatever people at school were listening to. And the first thing that I thought I wanted to do was sing. And then eventually, like once I started, realizing that there was just like a whole world out there that I hadn't quite tapped into yet, I just decided I'm just gonna like look up a bunch of rock bands, like bands I maybe had heard of, people talk about, but hadn't really listened to them. And I ended up going out and buying like an AC/DC album and a Kiss album. And after that, I was like, okay, so guitar is what I want to do.
Okay.
And so, like instantly an Angus Young fan. I was like,
Okay.
that's what I want to do. So, yeah.
That's actually really interesting, considering that gospel is really where your roots were
Yeah.
at first.
Yeah.
That really
Absolutely.
makes sense in the type of music that you guys do. Honestly, having the keyboard
Some kind of
overhead
influence, yeah.
synthy orchestral kind of thing here.
I
and
never
there.
thought about that.
Yeah.
It makes
It's the
sense.
subliminal
man.
stuff
That's
you
the
didn't
stuff
even
that
know. Yeah.
seeps in,
Didn't
man.
even think
Yeah.
about that at
It
all.
kind of seeps into it. I think
It does,
you know,
man.
whether you realize it or not. It's like D. Snyder was talking about how when he wrote "We're Not Gonna Take It," he didn't realize he ripped off "Oh Come All You Faithful."
Yeah, and then they covered "Come On You
Also,
Faithful,"
they covered "Oh Come All You Faithful,"
which was awesome, by the way.
The way he put it, he said, "Going to church finally paid off."
There you go. There you go.
That's great. Honestly, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it. I've heard like the cover and the original, and that still, I guess I never heard them close enough together to really click for me.
Yeah.
I never heard that until you told me about it, and then I started like kind of humming it in my head, and I'm like, that is exactly the same.
It's
song.
the same melody. Yeah.
All right, so we've been talking a lot about y'all's band. We always got to talk a little bit about the world. Anything in this world y'all want to change right now, and what would you do to manifest it?
You take that one first.
I would change quite a bit about the world as far as I would change how music's listened to, honestly,
Okay.
and go back to people collecting albums and the artwork and how much people put into it.
Had a lot more novelty for sure.
Yeah, like there's just such a
I'm a big fan of holding a physical copy.
Yeah.
Like I love to have a
and you read the
vinyl or
lyrics,
same way.
anything.
you
I mean,
read
I
the
just love to have
credits
it,
to it. You're wondering why
it's a
they're
lot
being
more to
put.
it.
It's its own experience in and of itself.
It really is.
You can't
Yeah.
even find an album anymore that still contains a poster or anything like that. I mean, back in the day, that was your main selling point.
That was
was
your
albums,
connection.
and
Like
we'd
that would be
you
the
know?
one thing that I would make happen.
I
I know
love
that's
that,
like on the
yeah.
grand scale of things, or like, you sure you wouldn't cure cancer? Like, as a matter of fact, I would honestly just bring back the way people just listen to music.
Hey, maybe that would be the cure.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
You never know.
We know.
Yeah.
You never know. We
That's
haven't
true.
found it yet.
Yeah.
So.
That's true, and I think when your Spotify, which stuff like that does have its advantages
Oh yeah.
as far as like a reach to the younger audiences and everything, but I think bands, when everything started taking over with illegal downloading and things of that nature, they lost their connection to the fans.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you can blame the record labels, of course, for
Yeah.
that, but I think that connection, that instant, like what I'm holding right here, how much went into it, how many people worked on the art, how many people worked on the lyrics, the production,
Giving credit where credit's due.
yeah, they're putting out a piece of their life that
Yeah.
And
they breathe
on
in.
that note, it's that in a time like that, like in today's world, you find a lot of people who kind of do it all kind of thing. Like back then, to have something like that and to say that like one person did the artwork and recorded everything and did all of this back then was like that was mind blowing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
today,
absolutely.
with the way that I mean, I guess it's just the way the technology is advanced, and I mean, there's not really anything we can
Yeah.
do about it. But now the accessibility, there are a lot of people that are just independent producers. I mean, I'm one of those people. Like,
Right.
But I back in the day, I would have been one in a million, and now I'm a dime a dozen. So like, it's
I mean, it definitely an actual physical album. Really, what you're saying, being able to see those things, it shows how much work actually goes into it. Because a lot of people forget, especially people that aren't involved in music, that there's a lot that goes into this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's the original
It's
creation
insane.
of the sound, making it this, changing it. How many times? I mean,
Yeah.
and then so a lot of people, I think that's definitely a driving factor. Is people
Yeah.
are losing that, that fact that it was something that took a long ass time to create. I mean,
And
it's
of course, you're
really
going to always have people that kind of critique it or whatever,
Oh.
but
right.
That's
I think if
everything,
you've got
yeah.
critics, you're doing something right, because
Absolutely.
critics attack people that are successful.
They hate us because they ain't us.
That's true.
So if you got
Also
critics
true.
out there, congratulations, you're doing something right.
Absolutely.
If you got people criticizing you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
All right, changing the world.
one step at a time.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. One
hang
step
on. We
at
missed a
time.
part of that question. What would you do? What would be the first step you would take to making that happen? If you had like ultimate power, could do anything, what would be your
Take down
what would you
Spotify.
what would you do to
Well,
change that? To make
What I
that a
would do
thing
in that
again?
regard to make everything kind of come back. Of course, streaming's big right now. I'm gonna open up like a Netflix, a Hulu, something along those lines. But it's music videos, Headbangers Ball. It's bands that are doing interviews constantly, that are promoting the albums, not the single.
Better trademark that.
So basically, you're
That's
saying
a great idea.
Some guy's gonna hear this and be
basically-
like, "Oh, I hear dollars."
basically
Yeah.
YouTube, but instead of it being free access for everybody, it's kind of a page
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's-
I would
that's
honestly do it like that. It would kind of be like a streaming app along
I
those
mean,
lines.
it does create a little bit more exclusivity. It makes
Yeah,
it
yeah.
feel more like a club, you know,
Absolutely.
like you're part of.
You
But
click
just
on-
like in Netflix, you pick your genre. You want to watch horror movies, whatever it
Absolutely.
is. You can pick metal. You know, this. I
Absolutely.
mean, whatever it is. You know, so that's
And I would have it broke down by geography.
okay.
You
We have to. I mean,
Yeah, you want to check out North Carolina metal, go to this section right here, and to me, like every artist that kind of joins it, such as like us that are on DistroKid or something like that, it's automatically uploaded there.
Yeah.
And then things like we're doing right now with the interviews, they're up right there.
Yeah.
You want to check out the Kollektive TV, it's got its own channel up there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
every
absolutely.
artist kind of has its own outlet. And I think that brings back the connection.
Yeah.
Whether it would bring back the full albums and people buying that, it's hit or miss, I guess. But
Right.
brings back the.
I have no idea where that cut off. Do not have the time to go back and watch all of that to continue all of this. So I apologize, but we're just gonna have some fun with these last couple minutes, and
We said a lot of cool shit though.
we
Just
did.
take our word for
It was important, life changing.
Yeah.
you should have been there.
Yeah, we were here, so we can
Only.
tell you.
Yeah.
But that's why the candles are short.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna cut and then just
Yeah,
like just an inch just got cut off.
Yeah. Dude, those things are like, honestly, I didn't think they would burn that fast.
Yeah, for real.
And they were like, it was like $4 a pack.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not too bad.
I think
You
you need
gotta
some
But
of
that
those.
means I have to start setting a budget per show.
Well, you need some of
Already
those
got
at
a
the
fucking
collective
budget.
shows too. Just have them.
That would be
mounted.
cool.
Just have
These
them-
will be at the next collective show.
Oh, that's
Hell
Those will be
yeah.
on both sides of the stage.
That'll be wicked.
Very excited for that.
I wonder if they're welcome
Oh,
to
yeah.
something.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I think they're trying to send a message.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Stay away from me.
Welcome to the.
I don't know who they are, but they have an interesting way of spelling.
Yes, they
I
do.
don't know if somebody can say that about us too.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
Well,
Midnite.
Honestly, the first time I went to search it, I spelled midnight like
The wrong
Right.
way.
right.
Yeah, the right way, I guess.
Right.
Actually, it's gotten so bad now that my phone will do spell check and correct it to the way we spell it. That's how many times I've typed it out.
Oh, we can maybe say, if you guys want us to, why it's spelled that way.
I mean, yeah, dude.
There's
we're recording,
there's
so
even
why-
there's actually a story behind that. So I'm not sure exactly when years ago. I remember MGM before they went out of business. They put out like a series of DVDs. I can't remember exactly how long ago this was, but they all had double features on them of just like kind of like sort of obscure-ish horror movies and stuff, like a lot of Vincent Price stuff. And they called it like the Midnite Movies series, and Midnight was spelled that way. So then we're like, okay, we're going for sort of a horror-esque sort
Retro
of
kind of.
sort of thing, and so we kind of wanted to have like that kind of horror movie throwback there. Not that like people would necessarily like get it, but
That's
you
cool
know,
though. No,
yeah, that's
that
why
little
it's-
stuff
yeah.
that people
Yeah.
don't really like get
Yeah.
is honestly
Oh, yeah.
like the coolest stuff.
That's how you
Yeah.
separate real fans from not.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, look, realistically, all right. My two biggest influences in music growing up, I guess, in my teenage years, were Slipknot and Korn.
Mhm.
So I feel like everything that I do pretty much reflects on that to a T. I mean, I've got Kollektive with a K. I've got a backwards K in there. Like, I wear a mask.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really intend for it to be that way when I was developing everything, but in
Mhm.
retrospect, I can see where that came from.
He chopped Corey Taylor off once. That's what he tried to say.
Oh, is that, oh, okay.
I would have loved to.
understand.
Yeah, we'll do that first. We'll do that
Okay.
first. When's the next show for you guys?
That's going to be October 10th at
October 10th.
Coyote Ugly, Salisbury, North Carolina.
Salisbury.
Yep.
Yeah,
Playing
we're
with our
nice.
friends. Dying
Be there.
Oath,
Dying Oath.
Push the Attack, Noxus.
It'll be a
Mhm.
killer show.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to play with Noxus yet, so or Dying Oath either.
Okay.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
we've
so-
seen them, but we haven't played with them.
Should be a good vibe then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I really like
Push the Attack. We
sound
played
of
with
those
them
bands.
probably more than anybody. Honestly,
Yeah,
we've shared many of flyers so far. So.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
very
noticed
close
y'all got
acquaintances
that
of
about-
us.
Yeah.
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 They kind of started right around the same time as we did. I guess we kind of inadvertently grew together, even though we weren't practicing together or anything.
Yeah, and we've known Corey for a long time. Corey Higgins.
Fucking Corey's, man.
Yeah, this Corey's cool.
This Corey's with a K.
This
Oh,
Corey's
yeah,
with
I like this Corey.
So he's cool. He's
By
cool.
default.
Yeah, he's
Corey.
He's been like around the scene for like a really long
He's
time
welcome
too.
in
So.
these parts.
Yes. Welcome with a K.
Welcome with a K. I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I didn't take it that far. I didn't take it that far.
He just rips that down as soon as we leave.
Fuck, I ain't doing any more interviews.
I do need to get some new ones though with the new designs and stuff. Because these flags and all of like this little nice little beanie design and all that stuff was really, that was the bare bones like my first like getting all of this together. And then I had my buddy Corey Lanier
the Corey.
do
Just
another freaking Corey.
Yes.
It's all Corey's. But no, I had him do the logo that he did the backwards K thing, and then did the collective print, and so I had him do a whole font and all of that.
Yeah.
So, if y'all looking for any graphic work around the NC area, hit up Corey Lanier. He does good stuff. Plugs. Plugs are good.
Plugs.
Well,
Give you last questions.
You still have a question you need to ask me too, don't you?
The
I don't
Collective
think
have
he
a show
realizes
coming
that
up
he's
too.
interviewing both of us, not
Yes.
just y'all.
Yeah, the Collective have a show.
oh
coming
man,
up
that's a
too.
rough time to figure that out. Right at the end.
It's okay.
So Killjoy.
Yeah.
When do we
Just realized he didn't ask me any questions.
It's okay. It's all about growth. The next one will be even better, and then the next one will be even better, and that's what it's all about.
Every
But,
show has its own pilot.
Every show has the pilot. Wait, let's see if I can do it. Nope, I suck. But our next
That would
show,
have been cool.
yeah, what?
Yeah.
October 17th at Coyote Ugly, we will be opening for We Rise to Fall. And we were playing with Desired Redemption as well. And I'm pretty excited for that one. That one's actually an outdoor show.
Ooh.
They are doing social distancing. They'll have tables out there 6 feet apart, trying to keep people from moving around, stay at your seats type thing. They've got food, all that good stuff.
We will be in the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a table.
Yep, we will be at a table watching the
'Cause,
Collective and
yeah.
Desired Redemption.
Yeah.
And-
We're playing it safe.
And if you need a mask for that event, do have these nice
I
collaborative.
plug.
$10 haul.
$10. That's
$10
that's
haul.
cheaper than a lot. I mean, I see a lot of these people charging $20 a mask. Like,
Ship them
Support local.
Ship them for $5
Get this
wherever
badass
you need
mask.
it.
I was talking to him before it started. He said he's never breathed better in his life.
It's that
Until he put
fabric,
the-
man. It's
Oh,
nice.
breathable. It's nice.
And it doesn't just
Doesn't make my
immediately
ears
like,
do the flip thing either.
it doesn't suck into your teeth either. It doesn't go.
I'm doing it.
Oh, I stand
That was
corrected.
super dramatic.
I stand corrected.
We'll put a Djibouti dub over that.
So, all right, so these last two I've got for you, and they're pretty serious.
Awesome. Finally, get down to business.
Right.
Who is the most healthy and who is the least healthy in the band?
Ooh. I don't know if there is a most healthy. We're all pretty bad.
I'm not
off.
saying that the bar is high. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
that's
that the
not
bar
a high
is
bar
high.
at all.
There is actually not a most healthy in our band because we all have our.
We got lots of vices.
We
got lots of
We have a
vices.
lot of vices as
Uh,
far as like.
Well, how healthy do you consider beer?
Not very, but
That's where the bar is. So
We're starting with
All right,
beer.
heard.
Who drinks more liquor than beer? Who has?
He's the liquor.
Who drinks the most?
I would that would be a tie between Raven and D, honestly.
Yeah,
yeah, probably.
dude, I couldn't even imagine because he's tiny. So like,
It's like
If you want to say he's the most healthy, you probably could. I mean,
yeah.
well, no,
Yeah,
no.
if
I
you
just
gotta
meant
say
as far as
something.
like consuming alcohol, him being one of the people who drinks the most. Like he's like
Yeah.
a very small dude.
he's a tiny person, but I mean, yeah, he puts beer away. But like other than that, like he's fairly healthy. I mean, like he works every day, does that manual labor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I guess he's
working them shoulders.
yeah. Yeah.
So I guess you would have to
Something
put him like as the healthiest.
All right, and who's the fat ass?
You want to say Steven just because?
Steven's not.
He's not here to defend himself.
Sorry.
Fuck him.
I'm honestly probably up there too. I have a fast food addiction, honestly.
Yeah.
Daily.
Dude, I did there for a minute, man.
It's convenience.
I was about to
man.
say it's
so
honestly the
convenient.
convenience. It's not even.
I was
about,
thinking
like,
that on the way down here, actually. I was sitting here thinking, like, man, I can't wait till I get back home to eat something. Then I'm like, no, I'm going to be really hungry. I'll get something while I'm out. What am I going to get? Oh, I've already ate fast food today. I guess fast food again.
Yeah. It's
It
hard.
sucks, yeah. You fall
Yeah.
into that really easy, man. And
Yeah.
I've done a really good job of avoiding that here lately. This last month or so, I've done a really good job of fighting that. If you do, though, Taco Bell is absolutely the healthiest place to eat because you can get beans instead of beef. So bean burritos, and you can substitute beans for anything on beef on anything.
Just a bunch of beans.
Just beans.
Just go up there and tell them you want
I don't know what
I
I'm
want
in
beans. No.
Yeah.
not in this area though. I'm in Daria.
The black bean crunch wrap.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's
actually.
awesome,
Yeah, that
dude.
sounds good.
Black
Another
bean
plate.
crunch wrap.
Yeah.
Taco Bell, sponsor me, please.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely
Popeyes.
giving you enough money. Please sponsor me.
That's actually the name of his next EP, Black Bean Crunchy
How
Wrap.
close is the
Crunchy
Popeyes?
with a K.
It's a Baja Blast.
How close is the Popeyes?
Hey, quick question. How
This
many
one's-
chuggas before you chew? This is the most important one.
There's two.
You just chugga chew?
Yep.
Alright.
I don't know, man. 8.5.
Chugga,
What
chugga,
the-
chugga, 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 chug.
you
Wait,
missed one.
chugga.
Say
I
enough.
can't do the half.
Chugga chew.
Oh, I took my water over
Chugga
here.
chew.
Yeah.
Alright.
What is the correct answer there?
I mean, there isn't, but like,
I was hoping
What about
I was
you?
gonna start a super heated debate. I'm definitely with the two thing as well. So
Yeah.
I got you.
I mean,
you guys got some hasty chews over here. Alright?
I don't waste time.
Y'all,
You gotta savor
You're
it.
hasty,
Look,
man. It's got to be
Y'all-
four.
Look,
It's
you're
four.
questioning the conductor.
Yeah.
Conductor
I'm just
with
saying.
a K.
With a K.
2K. Oh, no.
With the
I
two
mean, we
Ks.
really
But-
should have had like a Jerry Springer. No,
Oh,
dude, it's two chugs.
It's 2 chugs.
2 chugs. You cut
It's
it
4
off.
chugs, you hasty prick.
By the way, I'm banging your mom, and she's here today.
No.
Gave her
Yeah.
3 chugs last night.
She got 3 chugs.
Oh.
Sometimes you just
All
have
right,
to go the
guys.
extra mile.
All right, man.
Well, it's definitely been a blast having y'all
Absolutely,
here.
yeah.
It's been really fun.
Definitely
Appreciate
been
you
a
guys
fun
having us.
interview, and y'all
sure.
check them out. October 10th, October 17th. It'll be a blast. We'd really love to see all y'all there. Come support your local bands, man.
Welcome to
This
the
has been
collective.
The Collective.
Welcome to the collective. Welcome to the collective.